A South Pasadena hedge that's part of Halloween horror history. The local landmark that's very popular this time of year. Plus, more labor law disputes. Why hotel workers are walking off the job and how it could affect you. You're watching The Rundown. I'm Michelle Valles. Thousands of LA hotel workers are walking off the job this week. Their union says they're fighting for a number of things, including better pay. The union is also accusing hotels of exploiting unhoused refugees to replace striking workers. The Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights claims that some of the migrants who were bused from Texas to LA recently have been offered jobs at local hotels, and some of those workers say they're not getting meal breaks. Others say they're getting handwritten checks as pay without hourly wage information. The issue has the attention of the district attorney, George Gascon, who says his office is launching an investigation into whether any labor laws have been broken.
If there are violations of the law, there will be severe consequences for this. We want to make sure that our community understands that there will be no tolerance for the exploitation of refugees or workers in this community.
Hotel officials have said management and other non-union staff are filling in while workers are off the job. The union has reached some deals with some hotels, including the Biltmore and Bonaventure. Mexico's Pacific coast is dealing with catastrophic damage after Hurricane Otis made landfall Wednesday as a Category 5. It hit Acapulco and surrounding towns, packing 165-mile-per-hour winds. This video was taken from a hotel balcony in Acapulco, and another video shows debris scattered in a courtyard. The person posting the video says this was about 2 hours into the storm. Now, we're still waiting to learn the true extent of the damage, but experts are calling this storm historic. It strengthened from a tropical storm to a major Category 5 in just 24 hours. Let's get a check of our weather here at home. Meteorologist Stephanie Olmo joins us with your first alert forecast.
Hello, everyone. We can expect some changes as we continue into the latter part of the work week and as we take you into the weekend. So let's talk more about this weather pattern, what we have going on. We do have another disturbance actually working its way from the north going to the south. It will increase the cloud coverage as we head into the next couple of days. Wouldn't be surprised if we have areas of drizzle, especially on Thursday. And then as we continue here into the weekend, Friday going into Saturday, here comes another disturbance at the heels of the first one. So let's talk about here the futurecast. As we head into Thursday, we will expect some clouds across the area, maybe a little bit of drizzle here and there. But as we carry on into the afternoon hours, we'll start to see some clearing. But then we head into Friday. Here comes another round of clouds rolling its way through the area. Temperatures as we continue into the next couple of days and heading into the weekend will be on the cool side. Lots of areas across our region will actually see highs in the low to mid 70s in some of these spots. So we'll keep those temperatures below average for this time of year before temperatures warm up early next week. Back to you.
A new development in the Malibu crash that killed 4 students from Pepperdine University. The driver accused of causing the collision is now facing murder charges. 22-year-old Fraser Bohm, seen here at the crash site last week, was rearrested Tuesday night. His bail is set at $8 million as he faces 4 counts of murder. He had been arrested immediately after the crash and then released. The LA County Sheriff's Department said that Bohm was released to give detectives time to gather evidence.
If a murder charge sticks and a jury convicts him, he could be looking at decades behind bars.
Officials say Bohm's car hit 3 parked cars and killed seniors Neve Rolston, Peyton Stewart, Deslin Williams, and Aisha Weir. A local club soccer match turned dangerous for the players after the game over the weekend. A brawl broke out, and now we're hearing from coaches on both sides. Police are investigating the fight that broke out after Saturday night's game. The 2 clubs, Club Garafones and Irvine Zeta FC, began arguing after Irvine won the game. The league is made up mainly of teenagers and young adults, with most players between the ages of 16 and 22 years old. After an investigation, the league banned Club Garrafones from the league. Its owner and coach told us he is disappointed by the decision.
I'm disappointed that they could have done things better. I would love another chance. I live for soccer. Soccer is my passion.
The coach of Irvine Zeta says his team is mostly teenagers and they were attacked by other team members, which is made up of mostly young adults.
The moment the sirens came on, they ran away. They grabbed their stuff, they ran to the parking lot, got in their cars, and they drove away. And if you feel like you're on the wrong end of this, why not stay and share your side of what happened?
The brawl lasted about 4 minutes. One player from each team suffered a broken nose. The United Premier Soccer League released a statement saying it is shocking to witness such abhorrent behavior. There is no tolerance for such behavior in this league. The Fontana City Council voted to enforce an ordinance that would crack down on street vendors, and community members and street vendors rallied at the council meeting Tuesday night to push against the ordinance. The new rule allows the city to arrest and charge street vendors with misdemeanors and take their equipment for 2 months. And according to a city report, the goal of the ordinance is to regulate the sale of food and maintain health and safety standards. Those who support the vendors say the city is discriminating against them.
These are entrepreneurs that just want a better chance to provide for their families and not rely on government assistance.
The city allocated $600,000 to enforce the ordinance. The California DMV is suspending permits for the driverless taxi company Cruise. The DMV says the company's cars are not safe to operate in public. The suspension doesn't affect the company's permit for testing with a safety driver. Cruise can reapply to have their permit reinstated once they fulfill the DMV's recommended changes. Meanwhile, Teamsters and other groups are saying no to Waymo. It comes as Google's Waymo is moving forward with a plan to bring its driverless robo-taxis to LA. Some are excited about the prospect, but protesters were at Google headquarters yesterday in Venice saying it's just not safe.
This issue is an absolute safety issue. I represent the firefighters in San Francisco. Some of the things that they've come across recently is a driverless car dragging a woman for several blocks, parked in front of a fire station so we cannot get out.
In a statement, Google's parent company, Alphabet, wrote, "We appreciate that people have different viewpoints and encourage them to learn more about the positive impacts Waymo's autonomous ride-hailing is having on safety, accessibility, and sustainability." New York University is testing out a new artificial intelligence tool they say could help catch depression or anxiety before they become too much for people to deal with. It works by recording and analyzing conversations between therapy patients and their doctors, listening for keywords and phrases. Researchers hope the AI program becomes a tool for therapists to screen for early symptoms of depression and anxiety that sometimes even trained professionals can miss. They say the program could help the patients and their healthcare providers.
It's a needed conversation. Who takes care of the healthcare provider? Who takes care of the person that takes care of you?
We think of AI, we think of Skynet, we think of something that somehow is going to take our job and be an alien in the way that it thinks. And I don't think that this is a constructive approach.
The AI system was first tested out during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, where diagnoses of anxiety and depression surged across the country. When you're on a walk or a hike, it's cool to come across colorful, pretty birds. Well, it turns out that bird watching is great for improving your mental health as well. Bird watching is commonly known as birding among bird enthusiasts. Researchers from the University of Chicago say birding can help people de-stress and boost their memory and attention by 20%. And it's not just watching birds that's good for you. Interacting with natural environments is calming for your soul as well. Living in LA, we are surrounded by iconic movie locations all the time. But there's one that's particularly exciting this time of year. NBC4's Gordon Tokumatsu went to South Pasadena to tell the story of one scary hedge.
So your house is in the shot.
Yes, a little bit.
Stephanie Tsui says she's seen exactly one scene from the movie that firmly placed this hedge at the edge of her parents' yard at the very top of the horror fan must-visit list. It's where America's favorite murderous psychopath, Michael Myers, first reveals himself in the 1978 classic Halloween.
Look where?
Behind the bush.
Now, 45 years later, that bush has become a gathering spot for Halloween fans from all over the world. Just look for the worn-out grass next door.
This is where everyone stands to take their photos, just because this is right where Michael stood.
These are snapshots of the sidewalk that Stephanie's mom has taken over the years. Mike Myers in costume, Mike Myers with friends, Mike Myers shooting selfies. That hedge, a star in its own right. So it's a little unnerving to see a guy in a mask standing there with a rubber knife.
A little bit, but we've gotten used to it after living here for so long.
Sometimes I have to show him the right hedge.
Penny Trujillo's mom loved to tell the story of the knock on the door she heard one morning when director John Carpenter was filming in this neighborhood.
And she went to the door, and it was Jamie Lee Curtis. And she asked if she could use the telephone.
I forgot my chemistry book.
Jamie Lee, before the Halloween franchise, made her a household name, of course, and long before she won an Oscar. Most folks on this block have learned to take it all in stride. Lifelong horror fans like Jonathan Wiseman making the pilgrimage just to see something so fantastically scary in real life. Because why not?
I just came from I came from the Halloween house, and I thought just go down the street and get the hedge as well.
Oh yeah, Mike Myers' own house is just a few blocks away, a selfie destination in its own right for obvious reasons. Gordon Tokumatsu, NBC4 News.
Only in LA. Halloween arrived early for a group of kiddos who come from homeless families. It was all thanks to a costume designer from Hollywood. Carol Son donated customized Halloween costumes for 80 children. And they held a runway fashion show at Union Station Tuesday night. Look at them go, complete with games and, of course, the candy. Gotta have the candy. The kids will get to keep their costumes and go trick-or-treating with them on Halloween. You can always get news and weather updates on the NBCLA app and at our website, NBCLA.com. And be sure to tune in to Today in LA on NBC4 weekdays from 4 to 7 a.m. We'll see you next time on The Rundown.